Dear participants, I welcome you all in the lecture series of first unit of the course Income Tax Law and Practice. Myself, Muhammad Ashraf, Assistant Professor in Commerce. Today we will discuss residential status. It is important for Income Tax Department to determine the residential status of a tax paying individual or company. It becomes particularly relevant during the tax filing season. In fact, this is one of the factors based on which person's taxability is decided. The residential status of a taxpayer plays a key role in determining the scope of taxable income for a financial year in India. Now we will concentrate on meaning of residential status. The term residential status has been coined under the income tax laws of India and must not be confused with an individual's citizenship in India. Residential status has nothing to do with nationality or domicile of a person. An Indian who is a citizen of India can be non-resident for income tax purposes, whereas an American who is citizen of America can be resident of India for tax purposes. Residential status of a person depends upon the territorial connections of the person with this country, that is, for how many days he has physically stayed in India. As per Section 6 of the Income Tax Act, an individual is said to be resident in India in any previous year if he satisfies any of the condition. Point first, if he is in India for a period of 182 days or more during previous year. Point second, if he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during previous year and 365 days or more during 4 years immediately preceding the previous year. However, in respect of an Indian citizen and a person of Indian origin who visits India during the year, the period of 60 days as mentioned in point second earlier shall be substituted with 182 days. The similar concession is provided to Indian citizens who leave India in any previous year as a crew member or for the purpose of employment outside India. The Finance Act 2020 with effect from assessment year 2021-22 has amended the above exception to provide that the period of 60 days as mentioned in point second earlier shall be substituted with 120 days. If an Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin whose total income other than income from foreign sources exceeds rupees 15 lakh during the previous year, income from foreign sources means income which arises outside India. Now we will focus on determination of residential status of different persons. As we know that income tax is charged on every person, the term person has been defined under section 2 subsection 31 includes an individual, Hindu undivided family, firm, company, association of persons, local authority, every other artificial judicial person. Therefore, it is essential to determine the residential status of above various types of persons, and now we shall learn the calculation of residential status of each type of person. Residential status of an individual. Resident. A taxpayer would qualify as a resident of India if he satisfies one of the two conditions. Condition number 1, stays in India for a year is 182 days or more. Or condition number 2, stays in India for the immediately 4 preceding years is 365 days or more and 60 days or more in the relevant financial year. In the event an individual who is citizen of India leaves for employment during a financial year, he will qualify as a resident of India only if he stays in India for 182 days or more. Such individuals are allowed a longer time greater than 60 days and less than 182 days to stay in India. However, from the financial year 2020-21, the period is reduced to 120 days or more for such an individual whose total income other than foreign sources exceeds rupees 15 lakh. In another significant amendment from financial year 2020-21, an individual who is a citizen of India who is not liable to tax in any other country will be deemed to be a resident in India. The condition for deemed residential status applies only if the total income from foreign sources exceeds rupees 15 lakh and nil tax liability in other countries is by reason of his domicile. Determining whether an individual is an ordinary resident or not ordinarily resident. If an individual qualifies as a resident, the next step is to determine if he is a resident ordinarily resident or resident but not ordinarily resident. He will be resident ordinarily resident if he meets both of the following conditions. Condition number 1, has been a resident of India in at least 2 out of 10 years immediately previous years, and condition number 2, has stayed in India for at least 730 days in 7 immediately preceding years. Therefore, if any individual fails to satisfy even one of the above conditions, he will not be ordinarily resident. From financial year 2020-21, a citizen of India or a person of Indian origin who leaves India for employment outside India during a year will be resident and ordinarily resident if he stays India for an aggregate period of 182 days or more. However, this condition will apply only if his total income other than foreign sources exceeds rupees 15 lakh. Also, a citizen of India who is deemed to be a resident in India with effect from financial year 2020-21 will be a resident or ordinarily resident in India. Non-resident. An individual satisfying neither of the conditions stated above in first condition and second condition would be non-resident for the year. Now we will discuss residential status of Hindu undivided family. Resident. A Hindu undivided family is said to be resident in India if the control and management of its affairs are wholly or partly situated in India. Control and management refers to the decision taken regarding affairs of Hindu undivided family. The control and management lies at the place where decisions regarding the affairs of Hindu undivided family are taken. The mere fact that the family has a house in India where some of its members reside or the Karta is in India in previous year does not constitute that place as a seat of control and management of affairs of the family unless the decision concerning the affairs of the family are taken at that place. Although it is the Karta whom normally has control and management of affairs of a Hindu undivided family, yet any other member can control and manage the affairs. Therefore, the mere fact of absence of the Karta does not make the family non-resident. Determining whether Hindu undivided family is ordinarily resident or not ordinarily resident. Once the Hindu undivided family is a resident in India, it is to be further determined whether it is resident and ordinarily resident in India or resident but not ordinarily resident in India. The Hindu undivided family shall be said to be a resident and ordinarily resident in India if the Karta of the Hindu undivided family satisfies both the following conditions. Condition number 1, the Karta must be resident in India at least 2 out of 10 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. And condition number 2, he must be in India for at least 730 days during 7 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. A Hindu undivided family which is resident in India is said to be resident but not ordinarily resident in India during the relevant previous year if the Karta of Hindu undivided family does not satisfy any one or both of the earlier said conditions. Non-resident. A Hindu undivided family is said to be non-resident in India if during the previous year the control and management of its affairs is situated wholly outside India. In other words, it will be non-resident in India if no part of the control and management of its affairs are situated in India. Now we will discuss residential status of companies under the Income Tax Act 1961. Section 6, subsection 3 of the Income Tax Act 1961 provides that the company is said to be resident in India in any previous year if the company is in Indian resident or its place of effective management in that year is in India. At last, we will discuss the residential status of firm, association of firm, body of individuals and other artificial persons. Resident. A partnership firm and an association of persons are said to be resident in India if the control and management of their affairs are wholly or partly situated within India during the relevant previous year. In case of a firm, the control and management is in the hands of partners and therefore if the partners generally meet in India regarding the affairs of the firm, then the firm is said to be resident in India. Non-resident. If the control and management of affairs of these entities is wholly out of India during the relevant previous year, then they are said to be non-resident. In other words, to be non-resident, no part of control and management should be in India. For purpose of determining the residential status of firm, the residential status of partners of the firm is immaterial except in case where the residence of the partners affects its control and management. Thank you.